Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Josh. Josh is from England in the UK. So let's see what Josh has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Josh. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
I've never done anything like this before, if I'm honest.
Amazing. There's always a first time. There's always a first time to do some new adventures. By the way, I like your uniform. I like a uniform.
Oh, thank you. I've just finished work. I thought I could change quickly, but then I'd been rushing even more. So I thought just stay how I am, part of my life really. So I thought works for the interview.
Absolutely. So tell me, how's your day going so far? I know you've been working today.
Yeah, so I work on a cruise ship for a big passenger vessel. Um, and yeah, it's long hours in the sense that I'm working every day, and I work for about 3 to 4 months straight, no days off.
Hmm.
But then I get 3 to 4 months off completely. So
Wow.
I work time for time.
And what do you do for work?
So I'm currently first officer. So day to day I drive the ship, as well as I have other additional duties that I carry out. I'm in charge of all the maintenance of the deck. So keeping the decks nice and clean, nice and tidy, all the maintenance, all the painting, etc. I have a team of 25 who work under me, and I work under the staff captain, the second in command.
That's amazing, Josh. That's amazing. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I used to work for a cruise ship before.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
In what company do you know?
So I was working for Disney Cruise Line, for Disney Dream. So I was doing
Oh,
it was a short contract, 4 month and a half, 4 month. I did the short contract in Orlando. I see. And where are you from, Josh?
so I'm from England, but my dad is from Cyprus, so half Greek. So, but I've been living in England my whole life.
I see. And all your family live in England as well?
So no, my dad still lives in Cyprus. My mum and dad divorced when I was a baby,
Uh-huh.
but so I spent every summer in Cyprus, and my dad owns a water sports there, so I was there on the beach every day, having a really good, nice summer holiday. So, to be fair for me, it was always how it was, so it was never a problem.
Amazing. And how long have you been working a cruise ship for?
I started when I was 18. 28 now, so about 10 years.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
it was about 3.5 to 4 years training as a cadet. You get sponsored,
Yeah.
and so you basically apply for different companies, and by law they have to hire cadets because I think it was the 1980s, 1990s, the industry started dying. So the difference between the captains and the second in commands, the age gap was so big because the industry wasn't having an inflow of cadets. So they made it a law that all companies have to hire cadets so the flow of traffic and the industry can continue. And if companies if they don't hire cadets, they have to pay a tax to a charity, and that charity hires cadets for them.
That's amazing. Wow, you just made my day now. Learn something new. Josh, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you?
Uh, Not know about me. I'm quite an open book. So about 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer just as COVID hit.
Wow.
Um, and it was literally, I think it was February 14th I was diagnosed, and then COVID and everything happened, I think around March. So
Yeah.
it was a very, very hard time, but it was something that I conquered with my family and the support I had from everyone. But there was a lot of variables and a lot of unknowns due to COVID. So it was quite a lonely experience in a way because I wasn't allowed anyone in the hospital with me for anything.
Wow.
Um, and even when I was diagnosed by the doctor. I was by myself because we wasn't expecting it as the diagnostic.
Hmm.
So I didn't bring my family with because I wasn't expecting any news at all, if anything.
Wow.
Um, and then yeah, so I went through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, um, and then now I'll be 4 years clear come October.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing, Josh. I think,
Yeah, of course.
those time in lives. can be challenge, as you know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
talking about, and sharing your experience. I'm sure it's about helping people as well. You never know who's watching this interview.
Absolutely.
Maybe they're going through the situation and see someone health now and went through
Exactly that.
that. I mean, I think it's a great journey to share. I think it's beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. And
Amazing.
yeah, that was the reason I started posting online my fitness journey. It started just for mental health reasons because the doctor tells you that you're clear, but you have 5 years of remission, and it can
Mhm.
come back at any stage. It's a high chance in that 5 years it can come back, and I thought I'm not going to let that happen. And I do believe that the mind plays a very key part in that. So if I can keep my mind healthy, if I can keep myself knowing that I'm going to the gym, knowing I'm eating healthy, then my mind says to my body that no, it can't get sick. Bearing
Wow.
in mind, I do have a cold right now, but I think that's the only thing I have.
Actually, I made a note here about your fitness career as well. So during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your ship life and also about your point of views overall, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Josh, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of
Yeah,
views?
let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best full of random questions, okay? I'm just gonna
Yeah,
play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, right?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Amazing. So before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Sure.
First question for you is, I think this one's going to be very easy for you to answer. What's the scary thing that happened to you?
um, all right. So yeah, it was the initial being diagnosed was a lot of thoughts going through your mind. Why? How? Why me? Is it? Did I do something? Should I have done something differently? But when I was diagnosed, if I'm honest, I didn't even hear the type of cancer that the doctor told me. I basically went into there and I could see the look on the doctor's face, and I just said, "Is it cancer?" And she just went, "I can't lie to you, yes." And then I asked her, "Is it curable? Is it treatable?" They were the first questions I asked, and she said yes and yes.
Wow.
So I didn't hear anything else. I can't tell you anything more about what happened in that room at that point because all I cared about that it could be curable and treatable, and that's all I needed to know from my own point of view.
Wow. I got goosebumps now. My goodness, what a powerful moment. Josh, when you look back through that challenge journey, what that challenge has taught you?
You have to take every day as it comes. You have to be open, and there's no point going, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow," because you don't know if tomorrow is going to come.
Absolutely. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Josh. Next question is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
Oh, I think the perfect friendship. Well, I can talk about it obviously from a point of view of being away for so long that whenever I come back, it doesn't feel like I left. I've actually had the same group of friends since primary school, and
Wow.
we're all still best mates till this day. I have two of them living in Australia. Myself, I'm around the world all the time. But no matter what, whenever we come together, it doesn't feel like we've even left each other. And we can talk about, say, men kind of bottle things up and men, but from my side, I try and share my feelings exactly how they are because if I'm upset with one of my friends, I'm not just going to ignore him and think he thinks everything's fine. Like I'll be like, I'm upset with you because of this, and we'll just talk through it. Or if I need him for something, I'll just say I need a friend right now, and they'll be at my doorstep within seconds.
Wow. Right. So let's say all those friends that are watching right now, right this moment, and you have an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
No matter where we are in the world, lads, we're always going to be there for each other, and I love you all.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. So before the next question, Josh, work in a cruise ship, of course, there are, you learn a lot. I'll tell you, my experience working a cruise ship was one of the best experience I ever had in my life. My God,
Yeah,
working for Disney, there was no plan B, just plan A. And
yeah,
I thought I was a disciplined person, but I learned how to be disciplined working a cruise ship.
absolutely.
For you, working for 10 years now, tell me what's the biggest joy of working in a cruise ship and also the most challenging part, in your opinion? What's the negative part of it?
The From my side, the thing I love the most is we have maybe 40 nationalities on board, and we have every different religion on board, we have every different race on board, and that doesn't matter. There is never any conflict. And the thing we say basically on the ship is, if you're in the crew bar, you don't talk about race, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics. But if you want to learn about someone, you can always learn. And I've learned so much about different cultures, even like, for example, hand gestures. Some hand gestures are actually perceived in, well, as in English, I won't make them, but like, so to say A-OK, like some in English, it's one way, but to someone from Brazil, it could be seen as an offense. So learning that is something really interesting from my side, and learning the cultures and the food and the hospitality of people and how amazing all cultures are is really one of my favorite things. We could also always, obviously, people say on cruise ships you get to see the world, and of course that comes part and parcel of the cultures and everything. Um, the hardest part is people only see what I want them to see. I post what my good days. I don't. No one wants to see my bad days. We we are we're seafarers, and we people, how to say it, as a seafarer, people, just as I said, they see you going to the beach sometimes, but you're missing things at home all the time. You miss weddings, you miss funerals, you miss births, you miss birthdays, and you have to accept that is part of the job. I missed my cousin's weddings, I've missed stag do's, bachelor parties, births. I have missed them all. I've missed my my dog, my childhood dog. He passed away 1 week before I got home.
Oh
So,
my,
and it was like he was trying to hold on. This was a good few years back now,
wow.
and it was like I had to. You have your cry, you have your cry in your cabin, but you're still working, you're still going on and on. So it's with close relatives and things like that. It's immediate family. You can go home for anything. And if I said I'm going home for this, I'm pretty sure my company would understand. But there is a lot of things you miss, and it can be very difficult. And you miss your family, and yeah, you are with maybe 2,000 people on the ship, but you can still feel alone.
That's so true. You said what crew bar. My God, my memories just went back straight away right now. There in the crew bar. Oh my! It was like the therapy of the day. Everyone got together. People, they were
Yeah,
sharing their day, their challenges, their happiness, and sharing memories. I thought goosebump again. I think that those moments, the crew bar, it was a moment of therapy for me. I remember that after 15 hours work, 14, 15 hours was the moment where you could relax for a bit before going to bed. Next question is, what keeps you up at night?
Ooh, from my side, keeping me up at night is sometimes I do overthink quite a lot. Um, I tend to try to now I try to control a lot because I don't want to have a negative outcome again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always thinking of the best way to deal with things. And sometimes that is not too good because I'm overthinking it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn to just trust my gut sometimes, and to clear my head at night. As I said, I'm using the gym as my therapy quite a lot. But my fiance at home, whenever I need her, she's there for me,
Oh.
and anyone else I need.
When you think about yourself, Josh, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being you? What do you like the most about being Josh?
I I like where my head's at the moment. I like my mentality. I
Yeah.
like I like how when people go to me, oh, how do you do that? Why are you doing that? It's like I'm doing it mainly for me, but because I'm doing it for my family, because I want to be around, I want to be here. And yeah, I think that's what I like the most.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Pardon?
Ready for another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it, next one. Right, next question for you is, if you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
So, well, we have quite a lot of Indian crew on board, and they compare me to one of their Indian actors, and I don't actually know who it is, but they every time I walk past someone, they say I look like him, and his name is Saif Ali Khan. But
Right.
that is who they compare me to, and I'm also compared to Vin Diesel and Batista from the from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
So I kind of like them, so I'll stick with them.
In your team on the ship, there's how many nationalities just in your team?
So at the moment, our captain is Ukrainian, our staff captain is Romanian, our safety is also Romanian. I'm British, and I think that's the ones we have at the moment. But we also have at home, we have Croatians and Filipinos as well.
Oh. All of those nationalities, when I was there, I remember all of them. It was a lot of people. And where are you based right now, this moment, the interview?
I'm currently in Palma de Mallorca, and we are leaving in about an hour, and we'll be going to Ajaccio, Corsica. We have 1 day at sea, and then we go to Ajaccio. Then we will be in Civitavecchia in Rome. Then we'll be in Livorno, where we're going to see Pisa.
Wow.
And then we'll be in Olbia, I believe, in Sardinia, and then we come back to Parma. And we have a few cruises.
And you always do the same route, or you go different routes?
No, so we have like 3 or 4 different routes. So we have also Villefranche, where you can go to visit Monaco, Saint Raphael, I think it's for Saint Tropez. I can't remember off the top of my head. We have Barcelona, we have Ibiza, Valencia, and I'm off the top of my head, I can't remember the rest. But we have 2 different seasons. So we have a winter season and the summer season. But we basically chase the sun. So in the winter, in say British winter, we head to the Caribbean, to Asia, and in the summer we're back in the Mediterranean or in the Canaries, or sometimes the ships go up to the Baltics, to Norway and places like that.
Amazing! Wow. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is: what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Ooh, skydiving for sure. I've always wanted to do it, and every time I've gone to book it, I want to do it in a place like Aruba. I've always been recommended it, but every time I've booked it, the wind's been too high. And one time I was a little bit overweight. You have to be under 100 kilos, and I was weighing about 120. So I was a little bit chubbier back then, so I couldn't go at that point. So yeah, skydiving. I've been doing scuba diving already, but I want to get my advanced diving to go a bit deeper, to do a bit more scuba diving. It's one of my favorite things to do. And what else for my bucket list? I just want to continue traveling. So working on the ship, I'm working hours, so I get to get off for a couple of hours at a time. But I don't sometimes fully experience the place. I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
So you get a taster. When you go on a cruise as a passenger, you get to see it a lot more. But as a crew member, I'm working my shift pattern. I only get maybe 3-4 hours at a time off maximum. So I can try and get somewhere, or I go to a restaurant I like, or to the beach, or if there's, for example, last time in Barcelona, I went to Park Güell, and that was amazing, and Sagrada de Familia. So I try and see as much as I can in the limited time I have. And if I really love a place, I put it on the list, and I'll go there for a holiday, at least even for a city break is the plan. So just all the places I've been, I want to experience fully sometimes.
Wow. Usually when you go on holidays, do you, if you work, how long is your holidays for? Like a month?
I get 3 months off at a time.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So it's like 3 months work, 3 months on holidays.
Yeah, exactly that. So I have a back-to-back officer who, me and him, we replace each other, and we're quite close as well. So we try and plan it that we have a Christmas at home each, and then we have a summer kind of the August at home each. So sometimes I extend an extra month, sometimes he extends the extra month, just so it varies. Otherwise, every year one person would have Christmas, one person would have that, and it's so we try and make it fair.
That's amazing, isn't it? To work with someone that you can manage the schedule to
Absolutely.
accommodate those festive times. I think that's the part.
Our company is very lenient with that as well, because it doesn't affect them too much, because the flight is still being used. We're not, as long as we're not going, oh, I want to leave every 2 weeks, then they'll be like, okay. But we go, okay, we're going to extend 2 weeks, bring back 2 weeks, and we just we get it approved by our staff captain. He'll send it over to the office, and 99% of the time they're approving it.
That's amazing. Wow, great. Next question. Before the next question, talking about your, back in England and Cyprus. When you think about Cyprus, what's the, growing up or in England, tell me both sides. What's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Okay, so my intention is actually to start. We're planning to move to Cyprus now. England it's nice, but when I'm there, I'm like, I'll be home for 3 months. My friends are working throughout the day, so I kind of just sit, and I'm sorry. I really like hot weather, let's say. I don't like the cold English weather anymore.
Right.
So, as I mentioned, my dad has a water sports in Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
So what sounds better than in my time off going there for living there for 3 months rather than sitting in the house in England in the rain. And obviously my fiance and my dog, they'll be joining me. I have a little sausage dog.
Oh.
So yeah, he's going to be coming out with us as well. So we're just trying to finalize all of that at the moment. And so hopefully either in the summer of this year or coming towards the end of the year, we'll be hopefully moving there.
And you have siblings as well, or you are the only child?
I'm an only child.
Oh my God. Imagine your parents go like, oh my God, he goes now on a ship like for so many months.
Oh, well, my mum misses me when I'm away. And then when I come home, she's, when you going again? We'll have about a week of good times, and then we're back to reality.
Great. Next question is, if you could be any age, what age would you choose and why?
If I'm honest, I think I'd choose the current age I'm at. I really feel like I've grown as a person in the coming years, or in the years that I've just had. And if I go back before that, I would have to experience that again, and I wouldn't, because I guess if I said anything younger than 24, then I have to experience what I've experienced and all the pain I experienced and the pain my family experienced because of it. So I'm happy with who I am now, and I don't think I'd change that.
Aging for you is something that bothers you? You see just a matter of life?
No, aging doesn't bother me. Standing still or moving backwards bothers me.
Amazing. Wow. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Oh.
Right, through your career, working on a ship, yeah, tell me, something that surprised you, something that happened that you're never gonna forget, something positive, something that you've learned, something, of course, that you could share, something that you're never gonna forget.
Oh, that's a very good question. It's from, I need a minute to think.
Take your time.
Well, we could talk for myself as a person, like adapting to different people and scenarios could be the thing that surprises me the most, that I didn't think I could do. So I would never change my personality, not for anyone. I am who I am. But you have to adapt to a situation when you have to laugh, when you have to be serious. And when I was a junior officer cadet, maybe I didn't understand how to be serious at some times, or I would ask the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Right.
And I was always surprised at why I was getting in trouble for, maybe I was right, but I was wrong because I asked it at the wrong time, or I've done it in the wrong way. So I wouldn't say it was the surprising thing, but it was the thing I had to learn the most actually out of all my career, because I'm quite a proactive person, but being proactive and running around all the time doesn't equate to work efficiency or management of time. And So I think the thing that surprised me most is now is how far I've come from a junior officer to now a senior officer,
Wow.
and how even without realizing how you adapt and how you grow as that person.
Wow. Amazing. Next question is, what your theme song be if you had your own show?
Oh, okay. My favorite show is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I would say something along the lines of that TV show. Um, I think that's well, I'd go with Brooklyn Nine-Nine theme tune.
Do you be on a ship? Do you have time, like for example, to I remember working for Disney. There was like we have TV, we have access to all the movies, all the shows, and everything. In your company work, you have access to that kind of commodity as well, or not?
I don't have that on this ship. On the one of our other ships, we do have that application. I believe they'll be bringing it in here soon. But I
Mm-hmm.
have my laptop with my hard drive, so
I
I stock up on everything before I go, and I have my Nintendo Switch, so that's my downtime.
Amazing. Two questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, again, working on a cruise ship, tell me, in your opinion, work with people around the world, so far in your career for 10 years, tell me something that people misunderstand about, cruise ship, about ship life or working on a cruise ship. There's something that people misunderstand or take wrong, and what's something that people get right? Say, okay, they are completely right about this concept to work on a cruise ship.
So lately, a lot of people, whenever I say I work on a cruise ship, go to me, "Oh, have you seen Below Deck?" And Below Deck is nothing like how my operation works on a cruise ship.
Right.
Yachts and cruise ships are very different from each other, and people try and tell me, "Oh, I watch Below Deck. I know everything about your job." No, you don't. But probably what they get right is they go, "Oh, you get to travel the world for free." Well, it's not for free because I'm working and as I said, I'm away from home, but I do get to travel the world for free, and I do get to experience new places. And to be fair, the thing they are right about is I am lucky to be here. And they go,
Wow.
"Oh, you're so lucky." Yeah, and people who are on cruise ships, they've made that decision to be on a cruise ship, and
Mm-hmm.
anyone can make that decision. So
Absolutely.
it's not. I wouldn't say it's not hard to be an officer. It is a lot of training, but there's other positions on board. You have the bar, you have the entertainment team, we have our kids clubs, we've got the shops, you've got guest relations, destination services. So there's so many options and so much availability. So the option is always there, but it's just something people don't think of, and they see it on a TV show, or they see myself, and they're like, "Oh, how do we get into it?" But they won't truly look.
Absolutely. And again, as I mentioned before, you work hard, you work so many hours, you work a lot, you work every day. But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, you learn something new every day. You connect, there's always something that you learn. There's always something, not professionally, but your personal life as well.
Yep.
Interacting with so many people, different nationalities. I remember going for breakfast, and there was a variety of food that for me would be a dinner food, but for them was like breakfast.
So
And it was,
every morning
yeah,
there's rice,
yeah,
and there's every
yeah.
morning for breakfast in the crew mess, you will have some form of rice or anything like that, and that blows a lot of the Europeans' minds. But that's a day to day for the Filipinos and
Yeah.
for any of the other Asian community.
Absolutely. And I remember, as you mentioned as well, people, they really enjoy working on a cruise ship. I remember meeting people, they've been for 20 years, 15 years. They made their lives, they raised their family, their children working a cruise ship. And I remember I
Yeah,
was fascinated. I was talking to so many people around the ship, like people from India, from so many places. And, they were so fascinated about their lives. And actually, at the time, I wasn't doing the magic box, it was
yeah,
before. The idea wasn't there yet, but now I look back, my God, people, they have so many memories and stories to share because it's an adventure, life adventure for sure.
yeah,
Lucky, I think people, as you said, people who work in a cruise ship, at least once in your life, you should do for any career
yeah,
because you learn a lot. It's like it's a great
yeah,
experience.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people come like they go, "I'm going to do just one contract," and then they do 9 months, and then they go home for a couple of weeks, and then they're like, "I'm so bored," and they come back because While you're on board, after, so some people do, as I said, 9, 10, 11-month contracts, and they get to like 6, 7 months, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm never coming back. It's been so long." And they go
Yeah,
home and they realize actually it may have been long, it may have been quite difficult, but every day you use, well, 9 times out of 10 you're enjoying your day, you're experiencing new experiences all the time, you're meeting new people, learning new cultures,
yeah.
and it's something that I don't think books can teach you.
No, no, absolutely. Okay, next question is, again, another easy question. Where is the most exotic place have you ever been?
Most exotic or my favorite?
The most exotic you ever been?
So on a holiday, I've been to Mexico, and I went to Playa del Carmen. I went to the Xcaret Hotel, the nature reserve, with my fiance for a 10-day holiday,
Wow.
and that was probably one of the best holidays I've ever been on. I wouldn't say it's exotic, but on the cruise ship, my favorite port is probably Kotor in Montenegro. It's an
Wow.
absolute hidden gem. It's basically like a fjord, like Norway, but with a bit of sun, and it's absolutely stunning.
Wow.
So, from a cruise ship point of view, I would say the Adriatic is one of my favorite cruises. Croatia, around, we used to go to Venice and then to Koper, Slovenia. It's just absolutely stunning. And in the evenings, you have electrical showers, not rain, just lightning showers, and it's incredible to see. But for a holiday, most exotic would be, I'd say, Mexico. It was absolutely amazing. All the wildlife around me, swimming in the mangroves, in the cenotes, swimming with dolphins in the reserve. Yeah, I'd say that was my most exotic holiday.
Amazing. Ready for the last question?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Last one. But before the last question, I'm going to ask a question, two parts. The first part of the question is, tell me the very first day when you arrived on a ship to work. Yeah, tell me the day. Go back to your memories and, oh my God, tell me your feelings. How did it happen? Walk me through. And the other part of the question is, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they would like to, to adventure themselves and work in a cruise ship for any departments. What would be your best piece of advice?
Okay. So when I was a cadet, I wasn't actually just on cruise ships. I applied to the charity. The reason I applied to the charity is because they had a variety of different ships that you'd work on. So I worked actually around the UK on a company called Trinity House. And what they do is they pick up the buoys in the water. So all the flashing lights, anything like that, they go to the lighthouses and do inspections. So we'll go to the buoy, you pick it up out of the water. And these buoys, you think, oh no, it's a little one. No, they're about 20 foot, 20, 30 foot high. They're
Wow.
huge.
Wow.
So we'd lift them out with our cranes, we'd clean them up, we'd inspect the light. So that was the first ship I went on. And I remember joining, and I was joining in Southampton. So I was coming from Essex. And I didn't really have much information of like how I should be dressed. So I dressed myself in uniform. Like I had my cadet stripes at this point. And when I joined the ship, I joined and they thought I was like someone quite important, because I thought it was natural and normal to join the ship in uniform. It's not. So immediately I got myself on, in a way they were laughing, but it was straight away on the back foot, because they were like, who is this guy joining like that? Like everybody else joining were just in like shorts and flip-flops. And there's me in uniform. I was like, oh, it's not a great start. But and I still remember that first day they pranked me. So they asked me to put, I was pranked so much on that ship. I was asked to put up a picture or a frame, and obviously the ship is moving.
Yeah.
So I go to put the picture on the wall, and I get told, "Oh, give the bridge a call," which is the cockpit, the main station. Give the bridge a call and tell them to upright the ship, so you can put the picture on the wall, like so it can be flush. So obviously I was 18, I was nervous, so I called the bridge, and they were like, "You do realize the wall doesn't move?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." So obviously, even if the ship's moving, I could still just put the picture on the wall. So yeah, that was the first day. But it was basically just like a a way to get me to feel comfortable, that it's a laughing environment. You should feel
Absolutely.
we're going to play pranks, but we're going to look after you. Don't worry. So it made me feel at home quite quickly, that they were joking around. And I remember that day as well. I went out onto the deck and I was wearing my brand new Ray-Bans, and then I got the nickname Hollywood for the next 2 months.
That's funny.
Yeah. And advice for joining a cruise ship. Well, from my side, if you want to see the world, the best department to join is the destinations team, because their job is to go on tours and to take the passengers and to take our guests on the tours that they're going on. So I'm quite I'd say I'm quite envious of them. I'd like to do, once I reach the captain, I said I might just go and do one contractor's destination so I can actually go and see everything. Like I remember one day I was working in 40-degree heat and I was sweating like absolutely, like what am I doing here? And then I see a picture of the destination team on a zip line in Costa Rica, and I was just like, oh, I wish I could go and do that just for one contract, maybe for 4 or 5 months, and actually experience everything properly.
Wow.
But yeah, if you were to join a cruise ship, I would say if you want to see the world, the best department to join would be the destinations team.
Amazing. Last question is, what was your favorite part about school?
About school?
Yeah.
The friendships, the everlasting friendships, as we mentioned in the beginning, that I've created with the people who I love the most in this world.
Wow. Who was your favorite teacher? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really sure. The first teacher that came into my head was my Spanish teacher.
Right.
So I guess I would say him because he was the first person who came into my head.
Amazing.
I remember seeing him out and about places, like sometimes when we were post school, when we would just stay in the pub, in our local pub, he was always there to give a smile, ask how we are. So yeah, his name was Mr. Villa. He always used to tell us he was related to David Villa, the football player, but I'm not sure if that was true or not.
All right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? One word for family.
Love.
Money.
I'm drawing a blank for that one.
No right or wrong.
Well, essential.
Okay. One word for fear.
Overcome.
Life.
Short.
Love.
Forever.
Religion.
Acceptance.
Sex.
Pure.
Okay. Politics.
No comment.
Okay. Friendship.
Loyalty.
Desire.
Temptation.
Regret.
Never.
Success.
Ooh. So you said success?
Yeah.
Trying.
Okay. Wish.
Reality.
Happiness.
Smile.
One word for England.
Broken.
One word for Cyprus.
Community.
One word for cruise ship.
Joy.
And the last one now, ship life. One word.
Different.
Okay. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Josh in one positive word and one negative word only. What your best friend would say?
Crazy.
As a positive or negative?
Well, you said one word. I think it's both. I think, well, I'd say, yeah, I think, well, crazy, happy, negative, probably loud.
Okay.
And well, I speak my mind, so.
I see. Let's play now, Josh, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right, but before you ask me the question, so far, what the sea has taught you?
The sea has taught me. It's taught me that rough weather, it can come in an instant, and it can go in an instant. And you can take that into life, that a bad moment doesn't equal a bad day, and a bad day doesn't equal a bad life.
I love that. Amazing. Okay, Josh, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. So if we've looked at the questions that you've asked me, what would be you, because you're with your interviews, you're trying to bring people together, and there obviously must have been a reason behind that. So what was your reason to start the channel, and how did it like make you happy, or what's your reasoning for actually doing all of this now? Why did you reach out to me to even have this conversation?
Wow, great question, great question. 2020, the world went upside down, as you know very well. And I believe a lot of people, they struggle a lot, most of the people, because the uncertainty there wasn't clear, so nobody knew what was happening. And I found myself in a very dark place. I literally found myself in a way that I couldn't recognize myself. I was feeling really, really tough, really down. Here in England, I don't know if you remember, but you could leave the house once a day for exercise, yeah? And one of those run, this idea came along. And I tell you, I remember the moment, I remember the place, and I remember the time when it happened. And before that, Josh, I was already thinking about doing something on YouTube where I could connect with people, express myself. Know people could do the same as well. But I didn't know why I could do, what I could do, something different, something that I could be myself. Guess what? This idea came along. I said, my God, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do research, some questions, random questions, and I'm going to ask people around the world to see their point of views, what they think about it. And it's been an amazing journey to connect with so many people around the globe. Over 1,300 people already be on the show, and you have no idea. People that have different point of views, people that have different ways of expressing themselves. But at the end of the day, all of us, we are trying to be a better person. We are trying to, to grow, and to understand more about ourselves and people around the world as well. The biggest joy for me of doing the show, it's about as soon as I click here, and accept the invitation, and I see my guest for the very first time, trust me, it's a moment where I go like, my God, I'm meeting someone that I never met before, I never seen before. And again, we just made memories right now. It's so fascinating to hear people talking about, you know what I mean? It's just a moment that we are having here.
Yeah.
And time as well, we are connecting with people around the globe. Imagine people watching this interview right now, and they are so fascinated about you sharing those stories about cruise ship, and maybe you just encourage people now to, to start a career that I never thought before. So in the end of the day, it's all about connect with people, express ourselves, and get people to know that they're not alone out there. There are so many people sharing the same challenge, the same happiness, the same experience. You never know. And I think the show is about that. It's about connect with people and just be yourself over here. So yeah, that's the whole idea.
That's really nice. And the way you said about how you're connecting with people, I've actually had it where, because of my past illnesses, people who think, oh, they're like, for example, they may have a small problem. It could be anything, and they think they can't approach me because I've had a bigger problem. But in someone's mind, a problem is a problem, and it should always be shared, and it can always be helped. The one reason it won't be helped is if you keep it inside. So
Totally.
sharing is definitely, from my side, the way forward. I've tried bottling things up before, and it doesn't end well.
And it's about healing as well. At the same time you are talking, you are healing yourself. At the same time you are helping someone. That's how I see. Did you enjoy the interview, Josh?
Yeah, it was really nice. As I said, I've never actually fully spoken on camera before like this. I've spoken over a PA system, I've spoken in front of passengers, but never like face-to-face of a one-to-one interview like this.
No, not one-to-one. You are talking to the whole world right now. Thank you so much, Josh. Thanks for being so kind. The very first time when I approached you online, you were very sweet, very kind as well. And I'll tell you something now. Talking to you, you literally brought to all my memories working a cruise ship. And you know, I have friends around the world that I still keep in touch through social media. But talk to someone right now. You're on the ship right now, and you know, sharing your uniform brought me all that experience. Trust me.
Oh, I'm glad.
You just made my day right now, because again, when I think about that experience, it's a lifetime experience that I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity in my life, because it's gonna be forever. I had like stories to talk and to share with people. You have no idea, and it's a great. So thanks so much for helping me to go back to this moment in my life that was very meaningful. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Well, I have quite a few tattoos, and the words I have on one of my tattoos are let go of what was, accept what is, and have faith in what will be.
Wow, amazing, very good. Regards to your friends, to everyone, and I see you sometime somewhere in the world or in England or somewhere. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, Josh? Regards, okay, for your family.
Thank you so much for having me.
Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
See you later.
See you later. Ciao, ciao. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.